What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Power of I Am. I am Eric. I am all that is. I am love. I am perfection. I am always chosen. I am everyone's top priority. No one is better than me. No one compares to me. Claim it. All right, first, if anyone wants to work with me, the link is in the description. If anyone wants to join the membership channel where you have access to the weekly live streams, where you can ask me anything and I will always have an answer, including the wise guys. Link is also in the description, as well as all the exclusive videos that are on that site as well that you won't see on the public side. Links in the description. All right. Today, I got a great one. I got a great one today. It's basically what my channel has been all about. I talk about identity. I talk about identity is what manifests. That is the only thing that ever manifests. A lot of this we see out there is to get this, to get that. That's just thinking from part of the illusion. That's thinking third dimensionally. If you actually know who you are, you understand that actually everything comes from you. You're just manifesting yourself. You're manifesting the version of yourself that already has these things, right? So today, we can call it self-concept for dummies, right? Because, I'm sick and tired of hearing, do you need to do a self-concept, a little SC? Do you need to do it, or can we just bypass it? Can we just do it if we feel like it? Should I just put my SP aside, my manifestation to the curb while I focus on SC? Now, when you understand how reality actually works, okay, like how it actually works, you never not have a self-concept. If identity manifests, that is what you are actually materializing, is who you are. Shall I just put it on the back burner? Why? So you just keep getting more of yourself, the same version of you in the same exact fucking place? That is the reason why you don't have what you're trying to manifest, bro. Right? There's no such thing as you should work on self-concept, because that is by default what we're doing anyway. You are never not conscious of being something unless you're unless you're dead, unless you're unconscious in a coma, right? Be a zombie to manifest. You're always having a self-concept, a concept of self, and I am, and you're perceiving the world from that version of you. You can't outrun that version of you, no matter how hard you try, because your brain will literally filter out your experience for you to only see yourself mirrored back. And until you understand that, you'll catch yourself in the same fucking loops. Now, you can try to be cute and bypass, well, Eric, I thought I was a total piece of shit and I still managed to manifest a stereo. Well, yeah, stereos don't really run away from you, right? You could force yourself in that awareness, right? But what about things you have to actually sustain in your life? Love, relationships, friendships, family, career, flow of money. You would actually have to sustain those things, right? Now, how are you going to sustain that? If you never decide differently, you just focus on the desire only, right? And that's what I'm going to paint for you guys today, because I've talked about this a lot, but I figured I feel like I got to paint it now. I feel like I really just got to show you some examples and show you how your identity actually manifests, and the difference between the technique, bro, and the one that actually makes it all about themselves, right? Because again, you can do a technique. And techniques are tools. I don't have a problem with them. But you got to realize you're the technique, so stop giving power away to it. John 19:11, you have no power or authority over me that's granted to you from above. Therefore, the one that hands me over to you is guilty of the greatest sin. What that actually means is that is your identity, Christ awareness speaking, your end result, your desired reality, who you say you are, who you chose to do in the now moment, speaking to the third dimensional plane, that nothing outside of you has power over it unless given to you from above, which is your own mind, which is the observer. If you say that thing has power over me to identify me, then since you are always right, since you are the truth, you are the way, like Christ says, I'm the truth, I'm the way, I'm the fucking law, then you give all your power to that and make yourself powerless. And you think that thing is responsible when it's actually been you the whole time, right? So let's say you use the tool to force yourself in that awareness. Like you barely have a life. You're repeating something like a psychopath all day. You're hiding in the bathroom when you're at a group dinner. just to get some affirmations in, you're trying to close your eyes and daydream and hold that feeling, hold that state. How do I stay in the state? You're trying to do it. You're trying to, not realizing you're creating a construct of reality of the version of you that's actually trying. You're aware you don't have it, right? But anyway, you're still forcing, and maybe that thing does. Maybe you get a little result. Maybe that does come in, and it's like, guys, I did it. Just do that. But was that sustainable? Because let's say you always thought you weren't good enough and you sucked. And then you just bypassed all of that. You're like, I'm just going to get this person back. I'm just going to get them back, right? And then they come in. The problem is then you stop doing that technique that you gave all the power to. You never addressed all the reasons why that person wasn't there in the first place. And guess what? You still think the same about yourself, and reality manifests who you are 24/7. It always has been your entire life, whether you realize it or fucking not. So since it's doing it 24/7, you can't turn it off like a magic off switch. You are still the same version of you that lost them in the first place. You still don't think maybe you're not good enough. Maybe you have a concept of self where people usually leave you or ignore you, or you're a one-date wonder, or whatever the fuck you want to say about yourself that's, accepted as okay in this society, but God forbid we say something great about ourselves. And, so then you now perceive the world the same way. You still think the same. You're still aware of the same. You're still wondering the same things. You're still perceiving your SP the same way. And so they go back to exactly the same way. And it wasn't sustainable. Why? Because you never addressed the reason in the first place, right? That's like you're Cinderella, like you turned into a pumpkin, right? It was like the fraud effect, like you were SP love me, SP love me. I'm Cinderella, look at me, SP love me. And then the second it stopped, the clock struck 12, and you're back, and you're a fucking pumpkin, you're a peasant, and you're like, why does this keep happening to me, bro? So I'm gonna show you this so that you don't have to be the pumpkin anymore. You don't have to be Cinderella turning into a pumpkin. You can actually be Cinderella by default, and then you don't even have to fucking think. You just naturally see the world that way. You naturally perceive the world that way. It's amazing, I tell you. It's amazing. And you've been doing it your entire life. You've been doing it your entire life, right? So everything I just said, I'm going to paint because I know we need that repetition for this stuff. So let's see. I'm going to draw. Let's see right here. Let's get this going. We'll go pink. Hope you guys can see. Pink might be, all right. All right. Pink. This little. Okay. So this is Shelly. Okay. Now Shelly, majority of her life, she didn't realize it. I mean, it's not her fault. All right, Shelly, she maybe it's circumstances, maybe it's collective beliefs, maybe she got influenced by TV, magazines, growing up in school, what her parents said, how she perceived the world, which eventually was her own definitions being mirrored back. But let's say she just, not, what? Let's use a different one here. Let's see, Shelly doesn't feel not chosen, right? This is Shelly's experience. Right? Not chosen. Can't really read that, but who cares? You heard me say it. Shelly's not chosen. Shelly, that paintbrush sucks. Shelly also has only ever, always felt not good enough, and has only ever experienced being ghosted. Shelly's ghosted, right? This is a little ghost. A little Pac-Man ghost, little Shelly gets ghosted, right? So, not chosen, ghosted. So because of that, right? Because of that, let's say every guy, she meets, of course, doesn't choose her. They prove to her because however you feel about self, because reality only materializes identity, right? Reality only materializes identity. Who you are is what you'll always get. Reality doesn't give a shit. It does not feel bad for you because it's only you. What you keep putting your focus attention on with your own words about self or everything else about your life, reality is just going to give you more of it because it's like, hey, you love this because you can't shut the fuck up about it. So therefore, this is who you are. This is what you're going to get. So not chosen, ghosted. Okay. So now, as these two things developed, she has an SP that she likes. Okay, she's got the SP, and he's all the way over here. He's over here, right? He's like hightailing it out of there. He's hightailing it. He's hightailing it. Like Shelly met Cristiano, and he hung out with her. And then because reality has to prove, and she only experiences herself, the second she meets somebody, she can only see reality for who she is. Cristiano's an amazing guy, but of course they met, and she could only see reality from who she is, right? Reality always gets mirrored things back to her, right? Reality gets mirrored back what she says, right? But because she's not chosen and ghosted, she can only see that in him. So she immediately started to question him, started saying things in alignment with this, right? I wonder if he's going to leave. I wonder if he's going to reach out to me. I wonder all of these things. And because of that, none of those things even exist because only now exists. Reality is going to mirror back to her own definitions and perceptions of who she actually is. So he skedaddles. And then here's the big question. Why? Why? Why does this keep happening to me? Right? Now, let's say Shelly over here decides to, this is her again, guys, sorry. Right? She decides to SP love me to death. Right? SP love me to death. So she's SP love me, right? She disregards the fact that she's not chosen, not good enough. She probably looks in the mirror and goes, ugh, right? But what you got to understand, every time you go in the mirror and go, ugh, or every time she goes, or you in this case, then Cristiano's going to go, that's Shelly. Ugh, just something about her, it's a little off, So something about her is a little off, because he's just going to marry the back to you. But anyway, so she decides to SP love me to death, completely neglect this area of her life. Now, I don't have enough room to paint it, but let's say he reverses and runs back to her. Then she stops the SP love me. She stops it, right? She stops it. This is the best paint you ever see in your fucking life, guys. She stops the SP love me, and then she looks at him through the same lens again, because you can only see who you are, and then he runs away again. This shit keeps repeating over and over again, and then she's back to why me? I need YouTube channels. I need Reddit forums. I need what gives. I need to study the law, right? You need to study the law. You realize you are the fucking law? But you don't study yourself. Isn't that some shit? I tell you guys, the best thing to do, like scripture says, before you eat the bread and drink the wine, know thyself. The bread and the wine is a representation of the body of Christ, which is also a representation of metaphysical meaning of the internal world of your new desired state of being, your new identity, your new desired reality. So before you actually accept that as true and accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, aka trust yourself, accept the new you and your new word as the truth, and recognize yourself as all it is, you need to observe who the fuck this is, because a lot of you watching this have no idea what the fuck this is. Not me, I'm too prideful. Right? So once you know that, then you'll understand who you are and why this actually happens. And when you understand why this person skedaddles every time they come in, or you meet fucking some other guy named Ronaldo, and he does the fucking same shit. Why? Here we go again. He didn't choose me again, and he ghosted me again. SP Lemmy didn't work. Why? Well, let me ask you guys something. As I take a water break. And adjust this. Why? You know what's the easiest way to manifest an SP, even though you're just manifesting yourself? Because they are you. They're your own consciousness being mirrored back to you. We only ever experience ourselves. I can get into that. It could be another video. But again, I've already explained this in every video I have. 1 second, guys. That's good stuff. He's not drinking whiskey today. All right. Why? Why? You know what, like the easiest way to materialize a person? If you can't answer why they would be with you, then why do you expect them to be? Why would they SP love me? Why would they love you, right? Why would they love you? Why would they be obsessed with you? Can you answer that question? Write down, instead of focusing on them, and the irony is they're coming from you in the first place, because when you understand how reality works, you're looking at a mental image that's coming from a projection of your mind, because your eyes don't see anything. That's the scientific side I spoke about in other videos prior. Check those out. Don't have time for that. So they're coming from you anyway. So you only experience your own perceptions in anything, really. So let's say, yeah, you're trying to get this. You haven't talked to them in 4 years, 2 years. I don't care if it was last week. Write down a piece of paper. Why does this person want to be with me? Why would this person be obsessed with me? If you struggle to fill that out, then are you surprised they're not there? Are you surprised you're struggling to manifest them? Because if you don't even feel great about yourself, why would they? If you don't love yourself, why would they? If you're not obsessed with self, why would they be obsessed with you? If you're not prioritizing yourself, why would they prioritize you? If you're hard on yourself, reality's hard on you. If you think you're not good enough, reality will show you you're not good enough. And everyone, and you'll get treated that way with behavior, the way people look at you, the way they talk to you, how you get treated at restaurants, work, fucking everywhere. It's not only till you decide who you are anew right now, and it's true. There is no delay. All points of existence are happening now. Your mind is encapsulated in the dark skull, and your eyes are bringing in the light, and it's basically taking your word for it because they can't fucking see shit. Right? So there's no fixing, guys. That's another thing. I got to work on this. No, you just decide right now. I didn't decide shit. That painting I just did, that was me before. I was very negative and diabolical towards myself. And then do you think I sat there, I got to fix all this? No. Can I even get this in here, guys? Here we go. All right. I got to fix myself. No, I'm just deciding because you know what? I saw how I actually went back and took accountability and saw why I was who I was, and then how I did it. I observed my inner dialogue. I did everything. I knew every fucking thing about me. I took fucking notes, scouting reports, right? Like I was going against the Tom Brady of keeping me fucking small, right? And then I knew I had the game plan. I knew exactly what to do, which is basically the complete fucking opposite. If I didn't worry about it then to materialize this crap reality I was in, then I'm not going to worry about all this stuff now to materialize the greatness, right? I'm not going to worry about that, right? I'm going to have to study the law for 25 fucking years, right? No, I'm just going to decide this is me now. A lot of you are so fixated on studying the law. I need to know everything. I need to figure it out. You're not going to figure it out. The smartest people in the fucking world are still trying to figure out God. If they can't figure out God, then you think you will? No, just recognize yourself as it. Right? How is the monkey mind going to actually figure out the divine that it is one with? Right? Anyway, so why don't you just focus on deciding this is me now? Why not? Because if you're not happy with who you are, and if everything's been the fucking same, you might as well dabble in that. Just try a little, right? Because meanwhile, this one kid that decides, you know what? Let me watch through Eric videos one time. You know what? I got this. I'm going to tell myself I got this. I'm going to apply it. Boom, this is me now. Yeah, this is it. And I've worked with people like that. Instant success. Instant. Meanwhile, there's people that sit there and need to learn everything. I got to question everything. Well, maybe my situation is different. Maybe this, maybe that. Know all the books, read every fucking book, read every religious book, watched every fucking channel, been on every fucking forum, been on the Coach Shark complaining with other people complaining. Wondering why their life is that way. This is early materializing other people just like them because they're only experiencing themselves. They get nowhere. They can't materialize their manifestations. They can't materialize themselves, their desired reality. Because you get who you are being. You get who you are. And it's very simple to be it. Plenty of videos out as well. It's as simple as just deciding this is who I am. This is how I view myself. This is how it's always been. Because remember, memories materialize also as the now moment. If you keep remembering how things used to be, if you keep remembering these bad memories, right? You're saying that's true about me now, and however it affected your identity from that point in time, whether it was when you were 8, 16, or 2 minutes ago, it will then get mirrored back to you and other people. Like you're transmitting it like a disease, right? But you're just because you're experiencing yourself. And the more present you are, the more you're able to see your consciousness mirrored back to you. Now, earlier I described why the self-concept part of when you don't address yourself, why you keep getting stuck in the same loop, right? And then why you keep going back to turning into Cinderella, going back into a peasant in her pumpkin. So now I'm going to show you the other way. So let's say we'll do a guy now. We'll do let's see. We're going to do Dexter, okay? Dexter's the fucking man, right? Dexter. We got Dexter here, okay? Now Dexter, right? He's a little smug, little Dexter, right? You know, he's just going in. He doesn't believe it. You know, he's not fully in. He's just going to claim it anyway. Because Dexter realized, holy shit, when I was as I was going up, before I even knew about manifestation, I was just talking so much shit about myself and my situation and perceiving the worst of people. I didn't care how I felt after. I didn't say, well, shit. How do I stay in the state of I suck? I don't know how to stay in this state. I just keep reiterating different things. I didn't repeat the same thing. I didn't really sit down and visualize everything sucking. I just kept reiterating, kept saying things, and just like Scripture says, "Thou shalt decree a thing, and it will be established unto thee." First seek the kingdom, and these things will be added unto you. Man cannot receive anything that's first given to him from heaven, and you're going to get whatever's in your internal world that will be done on earth as it is in heaven. If you want to fill it with your own personal hell, that is your choice. That is the free will that the infinite intelligence has given you because you are one with it. So Dexter here, you know what? He's decided, you know what? I am. Right? I am enough. You guys can't read that. It's okay. It says I am enough there. Looks like a bunch of smudge, but I am enough, right? You could say I'm the fucking man. You could say whatever. Say what's natural to you. I can't stress this enough. Stop thinking you got to like recite something from 1912. I am worthy of all things divine. You don't have to say that. You don't, guys. Right? You didn't rehearse. Like, just make it as natural as you talk shit before about yourself. Right? He's enough. That is how the world will see him. He chose it. He chose that, and it's true now because only now exists. In the past and the future, only now. The mind only understands now. The mind takes your word for it. The second you say that, everything starts to move immediately to materialize it in his life. Now, the only thing that keeps it separate from him is the attachment to the outcome, which he knows now because he listens to me how reality works. He knows the 3D cannot validate it, and because he knows the 3D cannot validate himself, validate what he's choosing now, then he's in a state of not needing it. He's in a state of not needing. He is in a state of having by default. To those that have, more is given. To those that don't have, even what they have will be taken away. And reality will continue to materialize that version of him that knows he's enough because he doesn't need it. He's independent of the 3D to tell him that. He's not saying, I'm enough, someone prove it. Hey, am I enough? Please show me. Please buy me a tulip or something. You know, he's not. He's just that, right? Now, concept of self. I can't write the sentence. I'll just do this. Let's say he's doing it for love. So, you know what? He's only ever experienced the best in love and relationships, right? He is basically love, right? He's only ever experienced the best in love and relationships. So now he likes this blonde girl at the gym. Her name's Francesca. What's this, Francesca, right? Well, little Amber. She's multicolored hair today, so little multicolored Amber, whatever. Amber's cool. She's smiling. She's got a big chin, right? Now she wants to run towards him. She's like, "Who is this stallion?" Right? She's running towards him because he's saying these things. He's telling these things. He's not even looking. See how he's looking that way? I did that by accident. He's looking that way. She's over here. He knows he's enough. He knows he's only ever experienced the best in love and relationships of women worshiping the ground, treating him like a fucking king. He doesn't need to be staring at her. He doesn't need to be staring at Francesca like, well, I said I'm enough. Is she looking at me yet? No, he doesn't have to look, right? He knows, so now he's becoming magnetic, right? Things want to go to him, right? Because he doesn't need anything because he knows how the game works. He knows everything comes from him in the first place, and he knows that 3D cannot validate it because he knows the principle of that will be done on earth as it is in heaven, of cause and effect, and you can't change an effect and an effect. And like the Matrix says, there is no fucking spoon. Once you realize it's impossible to bend the spoon, and you realize that there's only you and it's only you to change, then everything else outside of you does, because everything comes from within. You're looking at a projection of an image coming from your mind in the first place, right? So that's Francesca. So he's saying, she's mine. He saw her like once or twice. She's mine. She's mine. That's how he views her. That's the I am. Like, I am her. Like, I am, her, the love of her life, the best thing that's happened to her, whatever the fuck he wants to say. That's the third, part of identity, right? That's the third part of identity. So that's why she's looking at him like that, because he decided he chose that version, and he's not looking for proof or evidence, because he knows, like I said, he's only looking through the shades of who he used to be. Manifestation of filters, right? He knows when he looks at the 3D that the 3D can only show who he used to be. Now, in order for him to see a new image out there, a new filter of women chasing him, he needs to know it's true and not need the outside to change in order for it. He changes himself internally, becomes this, right? And then he'll experience this version of her that's chasing him. So that's the fourth pillar of perception, right? So he knows, looking at this through these old shades that can only show him the old of maybe her ignoring, not being enough. He now has to, with intent, decide, even if, let's say, she was running the opposite direction, he would have to tell himself, yeah, no, she's always chasing me. She's already mine. I don't care. Or not even care to look anyway, and focus on himself. And then that allows the mind to continue to materialize that world to show him that. And it's instant. All this is instant, just as instant when you talk about a purple BMW and you see one the next day. Just as instant as when I talk about purple BMWs and that cheater video, and I had someone in live streams today say, I literally saw a purple BMW that had the word cheater on it on the side. Right? Now, did they have to affirm like a psychopath a million times to see that? No. Did he give a fuck? No, that's why it popped up. Did he need and want, and where is it? Right? Try to study the law to figure out, can't be me. My circumstances are more important than anything. So then they are for you. No, he didn't. No, we don't care for those things. Now, like I said, getting her is the same as seeing those things. It's just the importance and attachment to the outcome. So when you understand that how reality works, you by default will be detached from the outcome. It's that simple, but a lot of people don't accept that. Right? So now, since he's this and he doesn't give a fuck, when he materializes her, she stays, because by default, this is who he is, right? She's staying. Now, time for another painting, because we got to discuss what happens and what you go through on both spectrums when the old awareness comes to play, because the only thing you need to overcome is who you used to be, right? That's the only thing you need to overcome, is who you used to be. Now, it's the same like cleaning the room. If you've always kept observing, I only got small ones left, guys. Observing a messy room, right? It becomes a part of you. Your mind sees that as normal for you, right? That's why a lot of people, it's tough to leave certain environments. Like, it keeps pulling them back. They find themselves in the same place. Because whatever you've made normal for you, your old awareness will come in and rearrange reality to make sure you put it back. Or make sure it sends you thoughts, emotions, to get you to take the same actions to put the mess back. The gym goer, to make you get your ass to the gym, or to make you quit by February or New Year's. Everything's the same. There is always an old version of you that withers away to the new one, because just like the person that wants to become this clean version, they got to deny those thoughts and those emotions. Like, let's be lazy. Let's not clean the mess, right? Like, nope, deny, choose B. I'm cleaning this. This is this. Nope, I'm mentally fit now. I'm in the best shape of life. I'm going to the gym, right? You always have to deny the old and choose new in the now. And then that will become your new default state. And then everything's easy peasy. You don't got to worry about it. You don't got to sit there and try to manifest something your entire life, because that would suck, right? Don't you just want everything to just be in your life for who you are by default and chill? The less you do, it's like the more things come to you, the more, because the less you do, you're more magnetic. When you know who you are, how reality works, there is nothing to chase, right? We take natural action based on who we are, right? Again, guys, you want to talk about the law of least effort, just check out my shit. All right? Anyway. So, maybe I'll just do one at a time. Yeah. We'll do the one who doesn't do the self-concepts. All right. So this is the one that decides they're not alive because they don't have to work on SC. When you always are something, you always are being something. So let's just say they're just still the same person who, this doesn't work, this sucks. I'm just going to think this is a process to obtain something, not realizing I actually have to sustain things in my life. So this is their I. By the way, guys, I don't come to this with a plan. I didn't know I drew the I that way as it was supposed to be. But it's an I, okay? This is a cartoon I now. There's no plan. I just go off top of my head, guys. So anyway, who needs structure? I don't need structure, right? That's another thing. We want to talk about least effort, the law of least effort right here. I don't need structure. I don't need a thumbnail guy. I don't need this. I don't need fucking that. Don't got to promote anywhere. I don't have to do anything. Because what you have to understand is who you are makes everything make sense to you and what you chose to be, right? If you think you have to do something in order to this, then that, you have to experience that, right? Oh, I can't be successful unless I have this number of subscribers. Well, this person promotes the same clip on every single fucking platform, right? Then they have to do that. But I'm telling you, you just choose the end result and allow reality to show you who you are. You take natural action. I'm not telling you to sit there and twiddle your fucking thumbs. Everything will flow naturally, the same way it flowed naturally to give you bullshit. Right? All right, we're also going to do a little lesson on authenticity, guys, because this has a lot to do with self-concept as well. Authenticity. Oh, there's a lot of garbage out there when it comes to being authentic. We'll get to that in a second. I got to do it, guys. I got to do it. All right. So that's an eye. Looks like a goblin's eye. But that's the eye. And then this is, I hope this doesn't fall. This is the reality. It doesn't have to look like anything. Right? But it's scary. Yeah. Ugh. All right. Anyway. When you don't change anything about who you are or decide new of who you are, you got to forget, guys. You're forgetting something. If you spent your entire life saying like, things just don't work out for me, this, and this, I get ignored. Money just doesn't flow in. Money just doesn't this. I just don't have enough. Again, by the way, your mind doesn't know the difference. It thinks you're telling the truth now. It thinks that's true now. Whether you observe it visually or you're saying it, like you need to focus on the internal world as the same. But anyway, reality gives you who you are. So based on those four things, if that person, let's say that's a person, right? Crappy, right? Comes into this person's life, they will only ever be able to see who they were. And I'm telling you guys, I talk to so many people, it's the same. There could literally be someone going above and beyond for someone and they can't see it. They'll give it a bad meaning. They'll think, when's the next shoe gonna? They got to be hiding something. They're gonna be so pissed at me for being nice to me. And that's your first initial go-to, because that's who you are. You never change yourself. And the thing is, once you start saying those things, right? Once you start reiterating those things, maybe you had success with just, manifesting something outside of you from that perspective. If you somehow became successful, which is very low rate, because if that's the case, everyone would be a millionaire, right? You're basically just going to cancel out everything that came in, and then that will get mirrored back, and then you'll see the same thing again. You'll keep seeing the same thing because you can only see yourself, right? But when you actually decide who you are, right? Your mind shows you a new filter, like a viewfinder, viewmaster, or call it whatever. One of those days you see little dinosaurs in the fucking thing. I don't know. You'll see the world differently. You won't react to the same things because you won't see it that way. Has anyone ever looked back at something that happened in their life and you're like, why did I react to that? Like, what was I thinking? Like, why didn't I see it that way? And the thing is, don't fault yourself because you could only see who you were at that time, right? Someone who sees themselves as a prize and decides that I'm the fucking prize. Do you think if they don't hear from someone in 2 hours in the day that they're going to fucking lose their fucking mind? No, they have a fucking purpose, right? They know they're the fucking prize. They don't give a shit. They're like, this is probably planning the whole day for me. I don't fucking know. Who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck. I don't care because I don't need them because I know who I am. I know I'm all that is, right? They need me, right? I'm the fucking prize. Why am I pedestalizing someone else, putting something above me and then expecting me to attract them like a magnet? That doesn't make any sense. Where's my value? Where's my worth, right? And it's a decision. Because I'm telling you right now, you're going to keep being in the same hamster wheel. Same hamster wheel. Why does this keep happening? Why? Because you don't have to work on self-concept. Every time I see that now, you don't have to be alive to manifest. Hope you know, guys, whenever someone says frequency or vibration, like, Joe Dispenza or something, brain heart coherence, that's what they're talking about. Your entire identity, your self-concept, your concept of self, right? Your emotional state of being. It's the same fucking thing. It just sounds fancier. I just say it's just who you are. It's your identity. That's all it is, right? And you're it by default. You don't got to hold on to something. You don't know, Eric, how do I stay here? Looks like I'm doing a holding call in the NFL. How do I stay here, Erica? Did you worry about that before? No. Eric, how do I stay in suckage? No, you didn't. You're only experiencing your own definitions. That's what I wanted to paint. Okay. So, the only thing, I'm just going to hold up the old one. The only thing that comes for you is who you used to be. Right? So, back to Shelly, right? So let's say Shelly starts working with me and I start saying, like, we're deciding this is who you are now. Like she's doing, what Dexter did over here. My boy Dexter, he doesn't give a fuck. He's indifferent. He's looking out there, right? She's doing what he's doing now, right? So she can only see the shit reality for what it is. It can never show you anything new. So don't look. Like Christ says, a lot of you will look for me, but you will never find me. I was about to say fucking find me, but you will never find me. So to sit there and wake up, well, nothing has changed. Duh. One, the second you look, you're not it. Reality materializes you. You'll never find it. You will never find it, guys. I'm going to get on my knees and literally plead to you guys. You will never fucking find it when you're actively like, where is it? Anyway, it's impossible because your mind is showing you an image. It's filtering out to show you, right? So to get the new image, anyway, so you got to understand, thou shalt decree a thing and all these things will be added on to you. Everything about your self-concept, right? How you view yourself, the emotions that were added on to you that you didn't realize were, right? You got to realize you're who you used to be, right? Will then have a defense mechanism. So the intrusive thoughts, feelings, emotions of not chosen, not enough, I suck, right? When she started saying those things in the very beginning, when she just decided to identify with this, and she just said things out of the fucking blue, she based it out there, she allowed the outside to identify her. Living in sin is what that's called in scripture. You're not recognizing yourself as all it is, right? She started getting ghosted because of that, right? So then she started saying, oh, guys are starting ghosting me. Well, the only reason why they're ghosting her is because she decided that she's not enough and not chosen. She's perceiving the world that way, right? So all of these have intrusive thoughts and emotions tied to that identity. So once you start deciding new, like Dexter did, I am enough. I've only ever experienced the best in love. That person's mine. Your old awareness that wants to keep things normal for you, like the clutter on the bathroom sink that you cleaned, and all of a sudden it came back. You're like, how did it get back? Because you put it back, but you didn't realize it because you're acting on autopilot. Is going to do the same with the gym goer trying to make him quit by February. Is going to send Shelly the defense mechanisms, the feelings of the old, the echo of the old. right? And most people, once they start feeling feelings, oh my God, the kryptonite of everyone, I feel like, once she starts receiving the feeling, she's questioning everything. No, your job is to stay the same and understand the only reason why I'm feeling these things, they don't belong to me. That's the one thing she has to let go of, is this, right? So the second she starts saying, I am enough, and I've only ever experienced men worshiping the ground I walk on because I am the prize and I am the fucking queen. I'm Aphrodite made manifest, for God's sakes. And I do have this man because why wouldn't? Everyone fucking wants me. Everyone I want wants me more, and every man checks off the boxes, right? So she's saying these things because she's changing internally, and everything starts to rearrange itself. The old awareness is getting triggered because it's looking at it like, well, Shelly, you've been this way for 35 fucking years. I must protect you, unfortunately. Shelly, I must make you feel how you used to feel because that's comfortable for you. That's normal for you. Whether you didn't like it or not, whether it felt terrible or not, reality doesn't care. It's neutral. We're the one that gives things meaning. So it's going to send Shelly those feelings to get her to associate herself with this again. That's when Shelly has to say, even though I feel these things, I am. I am still who I chose to be. I still am, enough. I'm still chosen. I'm still the fucking prize. I'm still magnetic. My energy is addicting. I'm still the most important person everywhere I go. I am love itself. I am love at first sight. I don't care how I feel. Right? Even Shelly's going to get, frisky. She's like, you know what? Try harder, old awareness. Try harder. I understand what you're doing, but we're not doing that shit anymore, right? And then that old awareness is going to send intrusive thoughts. Well, maybe you should check on Cristiano, check his Snapchat score. Maybe we need that validation, because we never had validation before, right? You're saying, guys, you're the prize, but I'm the masculine side of the mind. I don't see any proof, and I got to protect you. I only function from Earth. I don't understand manifestation. I only understand proof. So it's going to send. So Shelly has to be like, nope. I'm not these thoughts. I can't control these thoughts, but I can control if I believe in them, accept them, or act on them. And nope, I don't need to do this. That's not me anymore. I am this. I already have this. Why would I have to do those things? Why do I have to reach out if that person's already mine? If I already am this person, right? I'm the fucking prize. I don't got to fucking do anything. Nope, right? Or maybe the echo is like, oh, they're still not here. Where are nothing's happening? No, nothing's happening. No, that's when everything's happening. Everything's happening for me because that's how I've always been. That's how it's always been, right? I am who I say I am. I have what I say I have. Shelly stays the same because she understands the only reason she's even feeling those feelings is because they used to belong to the old version of her. And if you fucking don't understand identity, you don't understand manifestation, you don't understand what self-concept is, what it actually is, that you are never not having a self-concept, the concept of self, you are never not being, you're never not having an awareness of being something. When you completely toss that, you have no clue what the fuck is going on when you experience the old you coming at you, right? Then you start to think that you have to make an adjustment to the outside. Well, this happened. This means I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That means something is missing. I've studied the law for 25 years, but something must be missing. That's why. Because you listen to someone, you don't need it. This is ridiculous, right? So be like my guy Dexter. Claim all this and be indifferent. Don't give a shit about out there because you understand it can't validate you. He's going to experience the same thing. He's going to get echoes of his old self, but he is completely letting go of anything he used to identify with. He is going all in. Nothing is going to make him say, I am not and I don't have. Nothing's going to make him perceive the world from the place of, oh my God, no one's looking at me. Why do I feel this way? I woke up feeling this way. This means this. He knows that he's supplying the meaning to fucking everything he's experiencing. And whatever meaning he gives, it's going to get mirrored back. Because he knows who he is, he knows how the game works, he knows everything comes from him, he knows the self-concept, identity, frequency, whatever the fuck makes you feel better is the only thing that materializes. And once he knows that, when he knows this is who he is, when he says statements like, Francesca loves me, it's in alignment with a man that's I am enough, it's always experienced that. It's not like fucking Shelly that thinks she's a piece of shit and then says, SP love me. That's not in alignment with who the fuck she is and it won't be sustainable. Right? Because she's making this person the fucking prize, pedestalizing this fucking person, which then pushes them away. Look at him run as fast. He's a fucking sprinter. Look at those calves. Right? Does that make sense why you need, well, not even need, you don't need self-concept. You're just always being something. You're never not. You're never not having a self-concept, a concept of self, a frequency, a vibration. But you don't need to tune in like a radio dial. Well, what frequency? What? Gigahertz I'm on. Am I feeling it real? You don't gotta fucking feel shit. You didn't worry about it before. You don't gotta fucking worry about it now. I don't care what anyone fucking says. You didn't do any of that for the negative. You didn't do it when you're perceiving the world and selecting things all the way up to even realize manifestation was a thing. It wasn't until you realized it was a thing that you let the left hand know what the right hand's doing and made it all complicated, but it was always simple. If you just get anything out of this fucking video, you're always right. And all you got to do whenever anything comes to mind is to immediately describe it as if it's already the way you would like it to be. Not the way you don't want it to be, and not the way the reality is showing you if you do not agree with it because you understand the outside is just the old anyway. Just showing you the old in new and creative ways. So you disregard it. You're always in a state of not needing by default because you understand it. You give everything to yourself if need be, when you want it, when you feel like it, as an experience, not trying to make something happen. Right? Your inner dialogue when you're just on, doing random things like sitting there watching TV, eating, whatever, should be hammering, reminding yourself who the fuck you are. Your inner dialogue should be up through the roof. If you've observed yourself for the day, you won't realize how much diabolically negative things you said about yourself. I woke up to that. When I observed myself, I heard myself saying the most diabolically negative things about myself, how I looked, how my ex-wife was, how the people I worked with, how work was going to be. Everything was negative, 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 negative in the most creative ways. So that's when I went all in myself. I said, fuck this. Invented the mindset of the villain method, part 1, 2, and 3 videos. Check those out. And I said, you know what? I can see when I observe myself how everything comes from me. And if everything comes from me, then the biggest mistake I could make is giving a shit what anyone thinks because they can only think what I think. And if they can only think what I think, I'm not going to be humble whatsoever. I'm going to say the most majestic, most over-the-top things about myself because why not? Because I did it in the opposite. And anyone who fucking frowns upon that like it's a thing of narcissism does not understand reality, how we only experience our own consciousness mirrored back. And the only reason why they can't fathom it is because they can't fathom it for themselves, and that's a them problem. Not a me problem. I'm experiencing my desired reality. Are they? It doesn't look like it. So pay attention, guys. Water break. You only experience yourself. If you're only in your own reality, experiencing yourself, and I've said plenty of videos, I could break it down and all the scriptures and all the books that say it, which I only get my information from, how we only have our own experience. In fact, of course, you could look at it from the scientific aspect, we're only experiencing ourselves. But if we're only experiencing ourselves, why would you have the audacity to fucking think someone else is better than you and then complain when someone else gets chosen? Complain when someone else gets the promotion. Complain when money runs away from you. Complain when that hot girl or hot guy chooses someone else. Why? Because you listen to you-know-what that's telling you not to say these great things about yourself, to stay fucking small and need them, I guess. I don't know. Speaking of that, the biggest thing you cannot escape. I should create my own law right now. The law of authenticity. This corrects everything, guys. This corrects everything. Now, we're only experiencing ourselves, right? And just because, I know how the game works doesn't mean I have to sit there and choose new for everything. If it doesn't affect me, I don't have to sit there and put my attention on it, right? Like scripture says, see others as you would see yourself. I personally love to see everyone doing great, right? But be authentic, because what you have to understand, why authenticity is so important. Now, there's a lot of people in the world, whether it's in any type of work environment, maybe relationships or content creation or YouTube. And I'm only on YouTube, but Instagram, whatever, X, the TikTok children, anything, right? We'll call the people who aren't authentic, we'll call them right. Yeah. I don't know. We'll call them fucking ninjas. Because why not, right? Hiya, right? Give them small feet. All right. This is the tragedy of the ninja, okay? Because the ninja doesn't understand authenticity. See, they might even teach what I teach. And the irony of that is, if they teach what I teach and they're not being authentic, then what the fuck are they even teaching? That means they don't understand it. Maybe they think self-concept's not a thing. Maybe they don't realize reality just mirrors themselves. But there's one aspect that I love about this is that reality will correct itself, right? Because so this person, maybe they feel like they're not good enough, right? Or they feel like they can't figure it out. I'm not good enough. I suck, right? I suck. I'm not good enough. So unfortunately, they don't realize only the internal can fix the internal. So they look to the external, right? So they start looking and looking and looking to the external, to the external, to the external, not realizing it's in order to fix the internal or to fix anything, it's good. You got to go within first, right? Only the internal changes everything. But anyway, so they look outside themselves and they say, well, maybe if I do this, they will like me. Maybe if I do this, I'll get views. Maybe if I do this, I'll get more clients. Maybe if I do this, I'll get more subscribers. Maybe if I go here, 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 I'll do this. Maybe if I post this at a certain time with this, maybe I'll do this. All of this to obtain something from the external world. All of this to get some sort of validation, right? All this to, I don't know, convince themselves that they're good at what they do, and all they have to do is decide they're the best because they only have their own experience, right? Like we want Ninja to do the best, right? We want them to be the best in their own experience. They're the best in their experience. I'm the best in mine. Everyone's watching is the best in their own world. No one's better than you in your own world. No one's better than the Ninja. But the Ninja doesn't understand that concept. The Ninja thinks, I'm not good enough with what I provided, with who I am. I don't feel like I'm enough. I don't feel like I'm smart enough. I don't feel like if I do this, people are going to like it. So I feel like I have to do this to obtain something, right? To become the best or to get something from the external, not realizing because we only have our own experience. Maybe it's clients, maybe it's business, maybe it's subs, whatever the fuck it is. All these people, these are people. All these people are actually mirrors of Ninja's consciousness, right? So the funny fact of the matter is they think they can pretend to be something they're not because they think that will make other people like them or bring them business or whatever the fuck it is, a loved one, a relationship, sex, whatever. They think they got to be something they're not because they doubt themselves. They feel like they're not good enough. Not realizing because they don't understand self-concept, because you don't need it. You don't need it. No matter how hard they fucking try and be someone else, maybe they get a little success because they think it would. Because they think they might get some success if they do. They think they're trying to people please or be something they're not or copy someone or maybe do this or maybe do that and just basically not be authentic. Every one of these people is them. So the irony is because the Ninja doesn't feel good enough, everyone in their experience will then mirror that back. The views still won't come. The subscribers still won't come. The money still won't come. The business still won't come. The girls still won't come. The men still won't come. I mean, maybe a little bit, but reality will always course correct. Because it's only a matter of time before their self-doubt gets mirrored back to them. You doubt self, it's saying like, I doubt God. You doubt God. God shows you what doubt is. You're a God that doubts self. So reality will doubt you, right? So no matter how hard you try, you're still going to get your own self-doubt mirrored back. The results still won't come and won't be sustainable because you don't understand self-concept. You don't understand identity. And authenticity is everything. The most authentic people are the most magnetic and the most successful. They're themselves. They don't have to try. And you can sniff out the ones that aren't authentic. You can sniff them out. You can sniff them. You can tell. You can tell. So a quick lesson, guys. And this is all just to help people understand this. You are good enough. And it's making a decision that who I am is good enough. What I want to put out there is good enough, whether it's a business, right? How I am when I interact in a relationship is good enough because I am enough. And then you're going to notice and see that mirrored back to you. Your authenticity will be mirrored back to you. You'll become magnetic. You become a source of love because of that, because you're loving yourself. And everyone will look at you like, there's something about this person I like. They're real. They're authentic. It's magnetic. I want a piece of whatever they're doing. And when you understand that you've always been enough this whole time, and when you recognize you're all that is and you only have your own experience, everyone's a real person. We're all connected in a collective world. We're our own experience, our own consciousness. That's why we can experience and have anything and manifest anything we want. When you understand that, why would you doubt yourself? That concludes Self-Concept for Dummies. I know you guys are having a great day. Just in case, I'll assume it to be great anyway.